Just kidding.
So my friend Tony and I came out to Niagara Falls for the day, mostly just to take some pictures, take some videos, but I figured I'd take this time to talk to you about vertical video. Okay, that's not gonna work. You probably know that I have made a little bit of a name for myself in the vertical video space, and you might be surprised to find out I don't love it. The reason that I say I don't love it isn't because I haven't enjoyed myself, and it isn't because I don't think it can be great. It's just that as humans, the entire world around us sprawls out panoramically. Above us is just sky and beneath us is just ground, but this way is everything. But here's the thing, as long as humans are walking around everywhere with these vertical displays in their pocket, there's gonna be a market to create high quality vertical video. So whether you're a freelance videographer looking for new clients or a new market to reach into, or whether you're just a brand trying to create better ads, hopefully there's something here that you can learn. So the first, and I would say most important thing when creating vertical video is to pay attention to your composition. You shouldn't just be taking your regular horizontal clip, cropping it into vertical and calling it a day. But also you shouldn't be taking your horizontal clip, rotating it vertical and assuming you're done. What you should be doing is trying to find compositions that work well to fill that vertical real estate. And I think what you're gonna find is there are all sorts of new shots that open up to you when you do this. One of the biggest problems you're gonna find with vertical video is that you might have a shot framed up and maybe it's people in a row, or maybe it's these power lines in a row. Power lines, what are these things called? What are they called? Log. And horizontally, that's no problem at all. But as soon as you switch it vertically, you've cut almost everyone out of the frame. What you can do is by shimming yourself closer to the line of people, you can now compress that space and include a lot more people or logs or geese into your shot. Now, similar to that last tip, but giving us the opposite effect in a way, rather than compressing the width, what we're gonna do is extend the depth. So by lifting the camera higher away from the ground, we're gonna get more of the ground presenting itself to us, giving our characters or our objects more space to interact within.
Honestly, I think that's about it. The truth is, vertical filmmaking isn't all that different from horizontal filmmaking. It just takes a bit of a mind shift for framing up your shots in that vertical orientation. All the fundamentals of light and story and editing still carry over, and I think a lot of photographers are gonna find composing shots vertically is pretty simple because they're used to doing it. Okay, now I'm sure a lot of you are watching this thinking, sure, that's great if you have the luxury of purposefully shooting vertical video, but maybe what you're looking to do is repurpose your YouTube videos or the commercials that you've made in order to promote them on Instagram or Twitter or whatever. Well, I don't traditionally advocate for just shooting horizontally and then cropping it in. There are tricks that you can use in order to make the most of that workflow. And for this section, we've teamed up with a sponsor. It's a sponsor you hear me talk about like once a day. That's not true. Storyblocks is an awesome subscription platform in order to get things like stock footage, royalty-free music and sound effects, After Effects templates, really all sorts of elements in order to help your production out. So for this example, I'm gonna download a bunch of footage and I'll play around with different ways to show that in the timeline. So when I'm making content for vertical, for Instagram stories in particular, I start a new project, custom setting. You're basically just gonna switch your 1920 and your 1080. As I'm going through this footage, I'm looking for frames that have a lot of visual information in the height. Tall buildings, individual people, things that'll work well once you've narrowed it in. So you can play around with just sliding that frame until it has a nice balance. But another fun thing that you can do is, because you have so much extra real estate on the sides, is you can digitally keyframe camera movements. One of the cool things though with drone footage is, even if you don't have an original Mavic Pro that could rotate into portrait mode, if you're shooting a fully top-down aerial shot, you can actually just rotate the scene 90 degrees, scale it up, and you get your full resolution completely filling the frame. Looks great. However, I don't want you to think your only option is to just crop footage in. I think you can have a lot of fun with it. Something you're probably used to seeing in the opposite manner is shrinking down that footage and then placing other footage in the background at a lower opacity so it's not drawing your attention. Or you could use 3 different clips on top of each other and let the eye bounce around from clip to clip. You could experiment with how big and what aspect ratio your primary clip is going to be. The other thing is just get creative with it. You could experiment with mirroring that shot on the top and the bottom to make it feel like one larger clip.
That looks so sweet.
Vertical video is kind of the wild, wild west right now. We can really do whatever we want in this aspect ratio, especially when you're putting it on something like Instagram stories, Twitter. And with Storyblocks, you're actually going to be able to find things like Instagram story After Effects templates, so you can build something that looks a bit more professional with the footage you've already captured. Oh, also, all that drone footage from Niagara Falls, I didn't film that. That was from Storyblocks, because Canadian drone laws are new and hard. If you want to see more of what Storyblocks has to offer, there's a link down in the description. So why don't you just go click that, open it in a new tab, finish this video, and then go there. Okay, that's the plan. If you've enjoyed this video at all, I would really appreciate a like and a subscribe. You can turn the bell on, but I don't even know if the bell works anymore. I'd really appreciate you supporting my journey, which has actually been from traditional filmmaking and video into Instagram stories, which is vertical, and now back over to YouTube. Here we are. I hope you like us. I hope we like each other.